What is good, YouTube, and welcome back to a brand new video. We're once again here with another playoff elimination rebuild, and we have the Detroit Pistons, who had a damn good season and something to be extremely proud of. And honestly, the Pistons had a real shot at upsetting the Knicks. A couple plays go differently. The Pistons might have won this series, which is the crazy part. So let's go ahead and talk about the bright future of Detroit Pistons and do this Detroit Pistons offseason rebuild, NBA 2K25. Before we get into today's video, make sure you guys drop a like on this one and subscribe if you're new to this channel. As always, greatly appreciated. We're currently on the road to 50,000 subs. If you want to help us reach that goal, that would be awesome. If you aren't subscribed already and want to help us get to 50K as soon as possible. But I am recording this immediately after LA Denver Game 7. What a disappointment that was. You guys will probably be seeing this on the day of Rockets Warriors Game 7, so hopefully that one is much better. This one was so bad, I ended up switching to Colorado Avalanche Dallas Stars Game 7. That game was pretty crazy. I don't know how many people watch hockey, but that was a wild ending to that game. Regardless, that's all besides the point. We're talking about the Pistons. So, Detroit, like I said, very bright future. It's obviously very apparent that Cade could use some extra help, and it was his first playoff series. There were some up and downs, some rough spots, but we definitely have a bright future here. So let's go ahead and summate the playoffs. And one thing to mention, they didn't have Jaden Ivey either, so that maybe could have helped as well. The Knicks do go on to win it, or to get to the finals, and the Timberwolves go on to win it all, I should say. We do have Chris Paul retiring, Kyle Lowry retiring, and Conley retiring. For the lottery, this offseason, the Pistons will not get their pick. It is going to Minnesota. It was a lot protected. That was part of the Cat trade from Minnesota and New York. But I don't think we have a pick in this draft at all, actually. So, JB Bickerstaff obviously is not going anywhere. He came over after Monty Williams, and he immediately got the Pistons to the playoffs. So, nothing to complain about when it comes to JB Bickerstaff. He should be here, hopefully, a while for them. And then, yeah, so we have an early second, which is nice. So, I think we're just going to go ahead and draft with that. And then we'll see what we can get with our early second here. So, we have Donnie Freeman, Alex, Dorian Williams, McKenzie. I really don't know much about these prospects I'm looking at, to be honest with you. So I'm actually just going to go in and let the assistant GM draft whoever they want, because I don't know any of those names. So Donnie Freeman, I guess, was the top guy. They take him. So Duran, Asar, Ivey, Sasser. Of course, we're going to accept all these. There's no reason to decline any of them. And then qualifying offers, Ron Harper, Tolu Smith, and Jenkins. We'll just not worry about those three. Okay, for free agency, you have Tim Hardaway, who was a big part of what the Detroit Pistons did, Lundy Waters, and then B-Ball Paul. And then obviously the big one, if they can bring him back, would be Malik Beasley, who had a damn good season for them. He's asking for $16 million. It looks like we have cap space to bring him back, which will be helpful. So we have to choose. If we have to choose between Hardaway or Beasley, I think I'm going to choose Malik Beasley, because obviously we should hopefully get them both back, but I'm going to definitely prioritize getting Beasley back, because Beasley is much younger. Tim Hardaway is 33 years old. So we're going to go ahead and give Beasley a 3-year extension. I'd like to keep him off the bench for the foreseeable future if we can. I know he obviously had the huge fumble there at the end where he dropped the ball out of bounds, but still, we got to keep Malik Beasley around. And then, yeah, so let's just secure him really quickly. That way we got this done. So Malik Beasley, I don't want to necessarily right now. And then Dennis Schroeder's another name I totally forgot to look at it into as well. So we're just see if we can get Dennis Schroeder back maybe as well, if it lets me. So he wants $11 million. If we can bring the core back, I think that's great. I'm not going to commit to Schroeder and Tim Hardaway too much, but if we can give them both 2-year deals, I think I'd be cool with that. So let's go 2 years per vote for both of them. They want us to renounce them instead. Can we sign Schroeder? So we can sign Schroeder. We can sign Hardaway. So we bring everybody back, which is great. So that's what we wanted to do to start things off. But I also want to make some kind of trade here as well. So Schroeder as a backup is nice. Now that could make Marcus Sasser more expendable, but we'll see. We have Jaden Ivey, Malik Beasley, and Tim Hardaway. Obviously move Hardaway to the 3. Simone, who has a decent amount of money. Tobias Harris. So to me, Tobias Harris was great for Detroit, but you can't ignore the fact that he has a big expiring contract that Detroit could use to go get somebody. So that's kind of what I want to do. And I have learned my lesson about Isaiah Stewart today. I didn't realize how much Isaiah Stewart meant to Detroit fans. I usually trade him pretty quickly, but today I'm going to try to keep him, because I guess I should have known, but I've learned my lesson. We're going to keep him around today. So we're going to go ahead and see if we can make some kind of trade. The most ideal thing is we bring in some shooting somehow at that power forward spot. So that's what I'm going to be looking for, or at whatever position, I guess. It really doesn't matter. We just need to get somebody that can help take some pressure off Cade Cunningham, maybe provide more floor spacing, and just be, you know, help us get to the next step that Detroit wants to get to. So I won't lie to you, earlier before I started recording this video, I did kind of look at Detroit Pistons Twitter to kind of see how they were feeling on maybe a couple guys they'd want. And there was two guys that mainly people talked about. First one being Jaren Jackson in Memphis, if Memphis decides to trade him away. He is an expiring contract, and obviously Memphis got eliminated in round 1. So we don't truly know where Memphis is going to go this offseason. There's been rumors about John Morant. GM shut it down, who knows. But then we got an interesting report from Shams about how the Celtics have to dodge a big, luxury bill coming up. So is there a way we could bring in Porzingis? Now, I thought Porzingis had more years left in this deal. For some reason I thought he did, but Porzingis still is an interesting find to me as well. So I'm basically looking at either Porzingis or Jaren Jackson. I guess I'm gonna go with, I feel like Porzingis is more realistic, and he's not someone I trade for like ever. So we're gonna start with Porzingis. I thought he had more years left in his contract, but maybe this was the last year of his deal. I don't really remember. But regardless, we obviously have to use Tobias Harris's contract, so I guess this would save them $4 million, which isn't anything crazy. We're probably gonna have to give them some kind of good player here, so like either Sasser, maybe a Ron Holland, which would suck. But if we're gonna get a guy like Porzingis who could help hopefully space the floor a little bit, obviously there is the injury concern, so that definitely concerns us a little bit. So I would be fine with trading Ron Holland and Tobias Harris, although it would suck. Or we could trade like Sasser instead, since we re-signed Schroeder. Or we could trade both of them. I guess I'm going to go Tobias Harris, Sasser in my 2026 unprotected first to see what they'd say if they'd bring us Porzingis. So Sasser first and Tobias Harris for Porzingis. They don't agree to that right away. Okay, fair enough. I would like not to have to throw too much more in here. And just like that, we get Kristaps Porzingis pretty easily. I thought that was going to be a lot tougher, but it's not. So Porzingis is brought in. I still want to double check on his contract. I feel like he has more years left, but maybe he just doesn't, and I'm just forget. I don't know. But regardless, he's going to be playing the 4 for us next to Jalen Duren. So we're going to kind of have like a big lineup, which is nice, but Porzingis can shoot. That should be a ton of fun. So now you have a very interesting lineup going to next season where you bring in Kristaps Porzingis. We give Boston some value. They can get off Tobias Harris's contract entirely after a year, and they got a first and a couple young players out of it as well for Porzingis. So let's go ahead, get to player progression, and we'll take a look at the lineup going into year number 1. So the contract on Porzingis was absolutely correct, so I'm just thinking he got more than he did, but he only got a 2-year extension from Boston. So he is, in fact, on the last year of his deal. So we're going to go ahead and move this to a balanced system because that pushes up in proficiency. And now we have a little bit of another guy that could take some pressure off of Cade Cunningham and Porzingis. So Cade, Jaden, Ivey, Asar Thompson, Porzingis, Jalen Duren, Tim Hardaway, Ron Holland, and Malik Beasley. Don't get me wrong, we did trade quite a bit. We got to get Isaiah Stewart in the rotation too. We did trade quite a bit to give Porzingis, but honestly, even if he left for nothing, we didn't trade like that much at the end of the day. We traded Tobias Harris, which again, he was pretty good for Detroit. I won't undervalue that. But we traded Sasser, which does suck, but we signed Schroeder to a 2-year deal to keep him. And then obviously we traded a first in this year's draft, but we're hoping we'll make the playoffs, obviously, with Jaden Ivey being healthy. And you'll have obviously Porzingis here now. So we'll have to see how it goes. But Cade at 95 and Porzingis and Jaden Ivey at 79, I think I feel good about. So I will see you guys at the end of year 1, unless if I do decide to make some kind of trade. But I'm hoping this team just is able to look really good by the deadline, where I don't feel that's necessary. But we'll have to see. So far, we're hovering around 500. Hopefully, we'll eventually turn that around. So at the end of year 1, Nikola Jokic wins MVP. Cooper Flagg is a Rookie of the Year. In Charlotte, Anthony 6-man Mobley Defensive Player. Neemias Most Improved. And Devin Booker Clutch Player. I know that's another guy that Detroit fans are kind of salivating at the idea of, because I think Booker is from the area, and obviously he would make a ton of sense in the ton of sense next to Cade. But I just got him in the Magic video, which is why I didn't really go that direction today, as Mavericks went 73-9, by the way, which is insane. But here's an All-NBA first team, All-NBA second, and All-NBA third team. So we don't have any Pistons at the moment. All defensive first team and all defensive second. All rookie first team and all rookie second team. So we're in a very similar spot as last year, and funny enough, we get to play Boston round 1, as we do finish up as a 6th seed. So here were your player stats. You had 25 from Cade, 17 for Porzingis, 15 from Ivey, 14 from Tim Hardaway, 11 and 10 from Jalen Duren, and 8 from Asar Thompson. I am a little worried about our spacing in a way. Obviously, the hope is Jaden Ivey continues to improve. I know he shot, before he got hurt, it looks like he was shooting 40% last year. Okay, I guess he got up to 39 this year. So he was at like 34, 35% the deadline, but it looks like he was able to get up to 39. So yeah, not too bad. We'll definitely take that. I was a little concerned about our spacing, but if Ivey can continue to be good there, obviously Asar is not a shooter. Duran isn't really either, but you still have Porzingis, Ivey, and Cade to spread the floor, which is nice at least. So we get to play Boston in round 1, as I mentioned. So let's see what they're looking like now. So obviously our team's looking pretty solid, and Boston on the other hand. So they have Kita at the center position now, and then Tobias Harris and Sash is developed to 79, which sucked to lose him, but 40%, 12 points off the bench, really good player for them. But let's simulate current round against Boston. So we lose game 1. We do even it up, beat them by 23 in game 2. Okay, can we win game 3? No, we will lose by 1. We're down 3-1. So we're in a very tough spot. We're playing another top team in the East, just like they did with the Knicks. Can we come out here and force a game 6 to happen? It looks like we might, as long as we don't blow a lead. And we are at least... Oh, wow. No, we're not. Damn, they came back from like back door right there. So they... Ron Holland, I mean, Derek, I'm not sure. We just lost. That sucked, man. That really sucked because we had the lead and we were going to go to a game 6, but fortunately we lose in 5. So Indiana and Chicago was your conference finals, Spurs and the Bulls. The Bulls, and that's pretty wild. So the Bulls got to the finals and the Spurs win the championship. So obviously the Spurs winning the championship is not necessarily like that surprising, but the Bulls making it out of the East is the surprising part. So we did trade our pick to Boston, so they're going to land it, obviously. So they get the 18th pick via us. We haven't had a first-round pick the last 2 years, but we're all in right now. And then the Suns get the pick via the Grizzlies. And then we see a couple picks we need to fix. Other than that, we should be good. So we're going to keep Bickerstaff still, but obviously more moves to be made to improve this team even further. But, we've made the playoffs a couple times. Now it's time to try to win a playoff series. So no picks to speak of in this draft, as we have Asar Thompson, Ron Holland, and Bobby all being accepted here, which is great. Qualifying offers, Jalen Duren, Jaden Ivey, and Porzingis are all free agents. So I was definitely considering trading Ivey at the deadline because I knew we were about to have to pay a ton of people, but I decided not to and I hung on to him. But we'll see, man. The team is about to be over the second apron for sure once we re-sign everybody, because I do want to re-sign Porzingis. I want to re-sign Jalen Duren and Ivey. So yeah, the team is about to be over the second apron for sure. So, or at least it's going to be close. I think it will get there, though, if I had to guess. So I'm going to go Ivey. Let's go 5 years, 25 point. Okay, he's going to say no to that for now. Jalen Duren. So we're going to wait on Duren and Ivey, although 2K is telling me, hey, just renounce these guys. I hate how 2K does this, man. It's my biggest pet peeve because you don't get to choose who I want to renounce. Like, why do you keep doing that to me? So we're not going to renounce Ivey or Duren, but there's a good chance I accidentally do it here in just a second because I did it recently in a video. So again, I don't want to renounce them, so please stop suggesting for me to do so. Just going to have to be locked in and concentrate here, man. It's not that hard. So let's do that. We'll go to day 12, we'll re-sign them because we're not going to be able to do much else in free agency. And we'll explore the trade market because we still have a couple expiring contracts. So we'll see if there's anything we can do with those. All right, so we've made it to day 12 without successfully renouncing them. So let's try to come in and give them some offers now. I would like to get Duren for less than 20. I mean, can I get him to 20, I guess 27? So yeah, I hope we can get that. Then Ivey, I'd like to get down to 25 at least if I can. So he should accept that. So we'll do something like that. We'll get these two locked up. They'll both sign on the last day. So that works. So now you have Cade up, you have Asar up, Duren's up, Ivey is up, Ron Holland's up, Hardaway is down, and Isaiah Stewart's up, and then that's about it. So I wanted to look at kind of the finances now. So yeah, we're pretty close to being over the second apron if we're not. So as far as like other options to trade, not really sure. Obviously Asar Thompson has to be paid next year. The team is about to be crazy expensive, honestly. So we have a very small window right now to win something here. So is this going to be good enough to win a championship? That I don't know. There might have to be some tough decisions made at the deadline because once we have to pay Asar Thompson, this team is going to be way too expensive. So I will more than likely see you guys at the deadline. We'll take this team into the deadline, and then once we're at the deadline, we might have to look at some tough decisions. Although it might be in our best interest to shed salary right now while we can. So it's probably going to have to be Tim Hardaway's contract, honestly. We'd save about $12 million if we did it. I'm going to keep Beasley. So I think I am going to try Tim Hardaway or try to trade Tim Hardaway right now to shed some salary because we need to save some money right now. We're in a very, we're spending a lot of money right now, basically. So the Jazz potentially want him. So I'd be fine with that. If we're going to do a salary dump, the Phoenix Suns want him. The Suns are in a position where they're trying to contend. Obviously, I'm not going to take their first, but what we can do is we can give them, just give me 1 second and I'll give you 2 seconds to net, profit, I guess. You get Tim Hardaway in 2 seconds. We take a second off of you. You get some picks earlier and you take some salary off of me. So we'll do that. So that saves us a little bit of money, gives us the ability to aggregate contracts to the deadline, hopefully. And we'll be able to maybe make a big move at the deadline because even though we trade Tim Hardaway, there still has to be some big decisions made at the deadline, in my opinion. All right, we're 37-15 at the trade deadline, and I told you guys we were going to make some kind of tough decision, but I don't think we can. The team is performing way too well for me to shake things up right now. So the reason why I stopped the deadline is because I'm simply going to show you that we are going to extend Asar Thompson because once we do this, we're all in on a championship this season, obviously, with doing this. So Asar Thompson wants a big bag, but the man is a very valuable defender to this team, so we're going to give it to him. It's a little bit more than I'd want to because of his offensive game, but still a very valuable player nonetheless. So we're going to keep him around. I think in the offseason, depending on what happens, we're probably going to have to trade one of Ivey or Duran. I mean, we do have Porzingis, so we can slide over to the 5, so I mean, we'll have to see, but I just think based off kind of where we're at as far as salary is concerned, it's going to be tough once we get to the offseason, but let's not worry about that for now. We'll just worry about hopefully continuing what we're doing right now and going on to win a championship this year because that would make everything feel great at the end of the day. So Jokic wins MVP, Boozer is your Rookie of the Year, Anthony is your 6-man Wemby Defensive Player, Devin Carter Most Improved, and Jaylen Brown is your Clutch Player, and Greg Popovich Coach of the Year, and Aaron Phillips is your Executive. And here's your All-NBA first team. So you got Jokic, Doncic, Wemby. K does make an All-NBA first team, which is nice. LaMelo Ball, All-NBA first team as well. Here's your All-NBA second team with Giannis, Ja Morant, Halliburton, Jason Tatum, and Stephen Curry. All-NBA third team, all-defensive first team, and all-defensive second team. So we do get to start Thompson to make an all-defensive team. So we're going to be paying him this much money. Well, it's great to see him making all-defensive teams, obviously. So we'll take that for sure. All right. Now it is time to see if this first seed appearance is going to net us a championship or not. We're obviously hoping it does. 30 from K, 21 from Ivey, 18 for Porzingis, 14 from Duran, 11 from Asar, 8 from Ron Holland, 7 from Isaiah Stewart, and 7 from Malik Beasley. So as far, wow, Beasley shooting 50% off the bench. I'm assuming, he's shooting 3 a game. That's still awesome, I guess. Small volume, but we'll take it. Asar still not anything special with Porzingis, Duran, and Porzingis, Ivey, and Kate are getting it done from the perimeter. Okay, get Orlando round 1. So Orlando has Anthony Black, Jalen Suggs, Franz Wagner, Paulo Gobadadste. So kind of the same Orlando team that we're all aware of. So let's see how this is going to go. Game 1 goes to us, 133 to 114. Good start. Obviously, I'm not looking to go home in round 1. That would be devastating as we're up 3-0. And can we beat the Magic in 5? Yes, we can. All right, give me Boston. I want a rematch. And ask any... Nope, just kidding. We got Chicago. So Chicago made it out of the East last year, but I don't know. Oh, they have Luka Doncic now, so that makes things... Did they have him last year? No, I don't think so. I think they just made it out without him. But obviously, Doncic makes them even tougher. So we'll have to see how this is going to go, but we'll have to see. So we got Memphis, San Antonio on the other side, Minnesota, and Denver. So game 1 goes to us. Game 2 goes to them. Game 3 goes to them. Game 4 goes to them. And of course, Luka Doncic is going to be the reason Chicago is good, even though he should be in LA. Why is he always joining the Bulls? I don't know. And we're going to go home to the Luka Doncic Bulls. So we get out of round 1, which was a nice step in the right direction, but now we fall flat on our faces in round 2 due to Luka Doncic being in Chicago. The Spurs go on to win the championship 2 years in a row, I believe. All right. Well, here comes the brutal offseason to talk about because of the money problem. So, for the lottery, the Warriors get number 1, which is weird to look at. And then we have 27th overall. So, we finally have a first-round pick, which is nice. We'll keep Bickerstaff because, we just won a series, which is great. But now it's time to maybe subtract some things here. So, I don't really know how we're going to do this, but I think we have to trade someone to save some money because this team is too expensive. It's not very realistic. So I'm gonna go ahead and Well, we might have to shed. Oh man, that's gonna be a tough decision. Ron Holland has a team option, I think, so that's nice at least. So these guys are on Stewart. I'd like, you know what I might do is I might decline Stewart's team option and try to resign him for cheaper. Beasley might have to trade away, even though he just had a good season, and then we're gonna have to trade away one of these other guys to get cheaper. So we'll see who we decide to choose. So the first trade we're going to do is by saving about $10 million, or, you know, a little less than $10 million, where we get D'Anthony Melton, who is making a lot less money, obviously. Not quite as good as Malik Beasley, but still going to be saving some money here. So we're going to do this trade and net a second round pick. So that was the easy one to do. And now it's time to make the tough decision on the other guys. Do we trade one of the bigs, or do we trade Jaden Ivey? That's kind of where I'm at, because I want to keep Asar Thompson, obviously. So it's either one of the bigs has to be moved, which I think would have to be Dern if we did, although Dern's much younger. So I guess it all depends on the return on who we choose to do. So I think this trade has my attention. I hate to do it, but I do think we're going to go ahead and send Jaden Ivey off to Denver. We get a 2028 first in Koa Pete, who is a young prospect, and he's on his rookie contract for the next 3 years. So we're saving a ton of money by doing this. I'm going to see if I can't squeeze another first out of them potentially. They want a first round pick in this draft, and we get 2 firsts in the future. I think I'm cool with that. So we're going to go ahead and do this where we are going to be not drafting again, but it's a late pick in this draft. So I'm fine with that. So Koa Pete, 2 first round picks. We try to pick in this draft, and we save some money. So Jaden Ivey is going to be traded away. We get Koa Pete on the team, which hopefully he'll develop really nicely, and it'll all make sense here in just a little bit. But let's go ahead and get to player options. And let's see what we got going on here. So Stewart, we're going to decline, but the plan is to hopefully keep him around. Ron Holland will accept. And then qualifying offer is nothing. So how much is Stewart going to ask for in free agency? So he's actually asking for more than I thought he would. So can I get him for like 2 years, 12 maybe, or 11.5? Not quite, but we'll wait on it. So we'll renounce. We do have some trade exceptions, but I'm going to renounce pretty much everybody here, I think. Schroeder we could bring back 2, but I think he's at the point where he's probably too old. So Cade, Melton, Asar, which again, we're going to move some things here in just a second. Don't worry. It's going to make sense here in just a second. But we're going to get Isaiah Stewart back, and we'll renounce everybody here. So let's do that. And I might use this trade exception that we got from Ivey if we can. So Isaiah Stewart's still asking for quite a bit of money, but I'm hoping to get him for like 12. 3 is 12, not quite, won't accept that yet. But if we can use that Ivy trade exception to bring in a good player there, that might make things okay. So let's see. 2 years, well, actually that's not really what I wanted to give Stewart. Let's redo that. So 2 years, 12.5. No, still not quite there. So we'll keep going. Eventually this will be to where we can get him for what we want. So 2 years, 12.5. We'll try that again. You should accept that now. So we'll get Isaiah Stewart back, assuming we don't have to renounce this trade exception, which we don't. Okay, so we still have the trade exception. We have those extra picks that we just got from the Ivy trade. And then here's your... So yeah, Koa Pete up to an 82 overall, which is great. We have Ron Holland at 84. And then what I think I want to do is I want to add Asar Thompson to the 2-guard spot. And then I want to bring in a legitimate, like, 3 floor spacer at the 3. And we'll move Koa Pete to the 3 as well. Something along the lines of that. It'll all make sense here in just a second. But we'll get Koa Pete here. And he does go down, which is unfortunate. But we wanted someone cheaper on a rookie contract, which is why we did that. So Koa Pete, C- 3-point shot. So not the floor spacer. So we're not helping our spacing problem yet. But I'm trying to explore. I'm trying to address that here in just a second. So let's go do that now. And we should be able to do that. So hopefully we'll find something we're looking for. So now I'm going to be circling here to try to get Brennan Miller off the Charlotte Hornets. So basically, we would get a very good elite shooter, 43% from 3 last year. The Hornets have Cooper Flagg and AJ Abanza, so Brennan Miller becomes less expendable to them. So this is where we're going to send over and see if they'll accept it. We're using some of those picks we got, plus Ron Holland, which does suck. We'll get Brennan Miller. It's all going to be worth it. So Brennan Miller is our brand new addition here in Detroit. So our floor spacing just got that much better, which is what we wanted. So now we're going to have Cade, Asar Thompson, Melton, Brennan Miller, Koa Pete. You have Porzingis and Stewart. And we still need to sign a center, which I'll do in just a second. So we're gonna I think I have to wait until we go into the season. We'll sign a back of 5 and we'll look at the rotation all together. But I'm excited and optimistic about what we could do this upcoming season. So the center we're gonna sign in for agency is gonna be Quentin Post, who's been pretty good for the Golden State Warriors in the playoffs. He's had a couple of good games there in the first round. So we have Cade Cunningham, Asar Thompson, Brendan Miller, Kristaps Porzingis, Jalen Duren, Koa P, Isaiah Stewart, D'Anthony Melton, and Quentin Post as your rotation. So I'm very optimistic about how this season could go for us. Obviously, I want Porzingis and Brendan Miller to really help out the spacing, which is why we brought those two in. Jaden Ivey was doing a decent job at it, but Brendan Miller, you can't deny, is a damn good shooter, which is why we brought him in. So he's an 83 shots with an 85 touch tendency. Cade's still going to be his guy, or be the man here. Obviously, Porzingis could push up just a little bit, something along the lines of that. All right, I'll see you guys at the end of this season. I'm optimistic that this team can win a championship. We have Asar Thompson as our PO, our perimeter, or our defender, and then we have Brendan Miller. Porzingis to space the floor. We kept Duren around, traded Ivey, which was disappointing, but with how expensive the team was, I think we've gotten to the point where hopefully this team will go on and win it all, and so far this season is going extremely well. So Cade Cunningham actually wins an MVP this season, so that is really cool to see. Stokes is a Rookie of the Year, AJ sixth man in Detroit, or sorry, Charlotte. Wemby Defensive Player, Boogie Flan Most Improved in Indiana, and Paul is your Clutch Player, and Greg Popovich, who has retired now, Coach of the Year, or I guess he's turning to a front office role or whatever, so not, I guess, retiring from coaching, I should say. So Cade All-NBA first team, here's All-NBA second, and All-NBA third. Does Asar still make an offensive team? He sure does, so that's cool to see. And here's our all-rookie team. So the team was good. We were the first seed in the Eastern Conference, rightfully so, and we have to hope that this year we can go deeper into the playoffs. So Brendan Miller, 21 points per game, and what was that three-point shot looking like? So like I said, 42% from three. We really needed that on this team, which is why we really wanted him on 7 attempts. Porzingis shooting 39, and then Jalen Duren even shooting 37 on 0.1 attempts a game. But still, it looks cool in the box score. Koa P, now if he was a shooter, that would have been even better, but he's not. So average 12 off the bench. We'll take it. So round one, we draw the Pacers, who had Boogie Flan one most improved. So Halliburton's coming off the bench all of a sudden. Very strange, but Indiana is still a damn good team. So this is still a tough series we got to worry about. So here goes nothing. Somebody come around against Halliburton and the Pacers, and we sweep them, no problem. Now we get the Toronto Raptors, who have Trey Johnson, Quickly, Ingram, Barnes, and Jakob Poeltl, Grady Dick. Game one goes to us. Game two goes to us. So far, so good. Can we sweep? Both are, yes, we can. And now we get to play Charlotte, who we made the trade with before the season started. So they have Chidi Nwamba at the 2 spot. Interesting. Why aren't they just starting AJ DeBanza? They brought in Ron Holland as well from our trade. I mean, that can be solved, but I guess if they're going to do it that way. They also have Caleb Wilson, which is why I felt Brandon Miller is expendable to them, and we're enjoying him. So game one goes to us. Game two goes to us. Are we about to sweep the East? Are we not even going to drop a game here? Oh, there it is. Okay. We only dropped one in the East, but now we obviously get to play the Spurs. Now, thankfully, we do have the size to deal with them. We have Wembanyama, obviously, to deal with, but we have Porzingis. Oh, why is Chet going to the Spurs all of a sudden? He always, I shouldn't say always, but I've seen him go there a couple times now in the 2K sim. It's very strange and bizarre, but we have to deal with Chet and freaking Wembanyama. Oh, man, this is going to be tough. But again, thankfully, we have the size because Duren and Porzingis match up decently against them. Obviously, Chet and Wembanyama are way more skilled than both our guys, but still, we'll see. I mean, Porzingis can do some more things. Game one goes to them. Game two goes to them. Game three goes to them. We got to the finals, just potentially get swept by the Spurs, so we may be able to beat the East, but the Spurs, you know, have Chet and Wemby, so what are we going to do today? I don't know. We get swept in the finals. So I think it's safe to say we got to run it back one more year, but if we deal with the Spurs again next year, I mean, it looked like we were fine in the East, like John Morant says about the West, but I don't know if we're going to be able to beat the Spurs if we have to see them again. But I'm going to run it back one more year to find out. One thing I got to show you about that Ivey trade we just made, it actually turned into the 2nd overall pick in this draft, so that's awesome too. So for the people maybe, obviously, rightfully so, about wondering why I traded Ivey, which I'm sure there is some people. I get that, but it worked out. So Bickerstaff did retire on us, so that's a little disappointing. We don't have Bickerstaff to go for anymore. So can we get Spoelstra to come to Detroit? That'd be cool. We can go JJ Redick maybe, and we'll go, what else? Mosley. So Charles Lee, I guess, wouldn't be bad. Or to go Jamal Mosley, who's actually pretty decently rated. So we'll see. So JJ Redick chooses us. That's fine. So Redick is a Detroit Piston. And now we can just go to draft night and pick with number 2 overall. So this is going to be nice to have. So Paul goes, and then I guess we take Mr. Baba here. So Baba's going to be a big part of what we're doing next season. He is a 70 or 80 overall out of the gate. So he is going to be in the rotation immediately. So nice to have him. And I will see you guys in the rotation going into this final season. Hey, so we get back-to-back MVPs to Cade Cunningham, so that's cool. And I have to assume we got Coach of the Year as well, because JJ Redick came in and we went 67-15. So that is awesome. But all that matters is getting out of the East again and then hopefully going to win it all. So we had a rookie in the rotation this year. But obviously because of how good we are, oh my gosh, he was... So this is what Ivey turned into. So once I was doing the Ivey trade, I was definitely hesitant on it, but if it turned into something like this, I mean, come on, you got to be happy about that. So in hindsight, it was maybe, I don't know, it worked out. That's all that matters in the end. So 28, 19, 16, 13, and our rookie had 12 off the bench. So this is going to be interesting. And the center we did sign was Kai Jones, by the way. So yeah, he was playing some minutes for us, but only 8, not much. We get Boston around 1. We'll see if we can't take them out as we have Porzingis, and we will sweep them. So the only thing I'm worried about, but I shouldn't look past the East. So let's actually focus on the East first. So we beat Boston pretty easily. Now Atlanta's giving us some trouble. So let's see if we can beat them in 6, because we're up 2 to, it's a 2-2 series right now, I should say. And we'll have the lead right now. Just don't blow it. And we'll be up 3-2. Beat them in 6. Yes, we can. So we're back to the conference finals. We swept the Hornets last year, but they win game 1. Wow, they win game 2 as well. We could be in trouble unless we decide to come back from 0-2. They won both games on our floor, too. Damn. Charlotte does have AJ and Cooper Flag, though, so I don't know if there's really anything I could have done about that. So, yeah, we're in a tough spot right now. So we have to come back from 3-0. So maybe we're not going to win a championship today in this video, unfortunately, because you have some crazy duos formed. Cooper Flag and AJ DeBanza, and then Wemby and Chet. Like, what is a man to do? So I'm actually hoping to see those guys go at it. I'm assuming it will be, right? So Spurs and Hornets. If you look at the Spurs, Wemby and Chet, and Stephon Castle, not to mention, while Charlotte has AJ DeBanza, Cooper Flag, and LaMelo Ball. I mean, how am I going to compete? Even a Bronny, not to mention. So I think we'll end it off on this note, unfortunately. So game 1 is going to go to San Antonio. Game 2 goes to the Spurs. Charlotte Hornets 2-2. 3-2 to the Spurs, and then 4-2. Okay, so Wembanyama and the Spurs win the championship. It looks as if we don't have what it takes to go all the way, unfortunately. So that is going to be the downfall left. Oh, you know what I didn't think about, though? Is Baba, I don't know how much he develops, but is it worth going one more year? It might be. We're going to do one more season, because at least we have this player to potentially develop. Like, I don't know how much he develops going into... So I was going to say that was the last season, but maybe with this secret weapon, we could maybe use him again, and we could try again. So let's see. I don't know if we have any crazy lottery picks this time around. So no, none of that. So our pick actually goes to Charlotte from the Brandon Miller trade. We'll keep JJ Redick, obviously, but let's go to rookie signing. The main thing I want to see is how much... so all these are just seconds. I'm not going to worry about them. So we will decline all those as well. Is there any free? I think everyone's locked up, so that's another reason why I'm fine with going back. So Stewart will bring back. We're at that money problem now, but at this point we're literally just running it back for an experiment now at this point. So not even worrying about the money anymore, even though I was worried about it earlier. So let's go to player progression. I want to see how much Baba develops, even though I don't know if I'm saying his name right, but we're saying it how we feel it's said, I guess. All right, so he's up to an 86 right away. I don't know if that's going to do anything for us, but we're going to go one more time. No matter what happens, this is it. Does Baba help us take down like the AJ DeBanza, LaMelo Ball, Cooper Flag Hornets, or Wemby and Chet Spurs? So final chance no matter what. Not going to make any more excuses or I guess any reasons why to keep going. But we had 26 from K, 21 for Brandon Miller, 16 for Porzingis, and our rookie, I guess not a rookie anymore, is continuing to get better and better at an 87 overall. So in round 1, we will draw. Let's see who we get to play. It'll be the Chicago Bulls, who still have Luka Doncic, who did eliminate us earlier, but hopefully they don't eliminate us now. We beat them in 5, and now we draw that Charlotte Hornets team that, you know, oh, I guess they don't have, or they do. They brought in Zion too. They lost LaMelo though, so that makes things interesting. I don't know. This is a weird looking team. So, all right. Well, we beat them in 5, and now we get to play Orlando, who we did take down earlier. They do have Malik Thomas now and Anthony Black. So it's a good looking team, and Suggs off the bench. We win 1-0. We're up 2-0. So just like we dominated the East earlier, we will get into the NBA Finals. Okay, does Houston have what it takes to take down Chet and Wemby, though? No, they do not. And, oh, wait, Game 7. I don't even know who the Rockets have, but give me them, because I don't want to play Chet and Wemby again. I want to have a chance to maybe win it all here, and it's not going to happen. We get to deal with the Spurs. Okay. So do we take out the Spurs? I don't know. It's probably the same team we've been looking at. Actually, they don't have Chet anymore, it looks like. That might make things a little bit easier, but still going to be tough. So 1-0. We actually did get a game here, but they get one right back in a similar score. Game 3 goes to us. Game 4 goes to them. We got a dogfight here, man. That's all you can ask for. Can we win Game 5? Come on, man. Dig deep. Keep this lead. Don't blow it. And we are on a 3-2 lead. And we have it. 124-98. So Game 5 went our direction. They want to start our sophomore, which I'm fine with, in this one. So Asar comes off the bench. Do we win in 6? No, a Game 7's happening. Okay, so Game 7. Looks like Asar is going to start again. Game 7 in San Antonio. Can we come out here and win? Or the Spurs going to get it done? The close game so far. We keep the lead here. It is very close. 115-114. It is a close game. 117-119 with 20 seconds left. Damn, dude. This is as close as it can get. And we're about to fall flat on... Oh, wow, they get the ball, too. We have to foul immediately, obviously. Unless we can get a steal on the inbound. So send Wemby the free... Oh, my gosh. Can we get a foul? Thank you. So Wemby's going to have a chance to make it a 4-point game. So we're probably in trouble here. So Wembanyama to the line. Gonna make it a 4-point game here, I assume, and he does. We do have a timeout, which we will use, so we obviously have to hit a 3 here, so we'll see if we can. So here goes nothing, man. Can we hit a 3? That's gonna be the question. Brandon Miller, I'm going to you. I need Brandon Miller to hopefully hit this 3. I think I stepped over the line anyway. It's whatever. So we lost, unfortunately. The Spurs are going to beat us again on our quest to win a championship today. So that's all she wrote. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. We gave it our best effort, but unfortunately, well, unless if he misses again, would have been nice if he missed it earlier, but I don't think he's missing 2 in a row. I mean, it kind of opened the door, but we have to be very, very perfect down the stretch, and I don't know if I got that in me. Brandon Miller, 3. Nope. Nope. Doesn't go in. All right, let me continue what I was saying. Thank you all for watching. I'll see you on the next one. This is Crushables. I'm saying peace. Thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure you click here to watch another video that I know you'll love.